I'm staying at the InterContinental Sydney, where I'll be reviewing the rooms, amenities, and even ride the oldest working lift in the Southern Hemisphere. Then we'll head down to Circular Quay, take in the stunning harbour views and the iconic Opera House. Let's get started. Welcome to our room. We've been upgraded today to a King Harbour Bridge view. And, these rooms at the InterContinental are of the highest quality. But what makes this room special is the view. We've got an amazing view of the harbour. And to be honest with you, one of the nicest harbours in the world. And you've got the Harbour Bridge there, a bit of the Opera House as well. But I tell you what, I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing today. Let's take a closer look at this view here. First thing you'll notice are the ferries coming into Circular Quay there. We're about 5 minutes walk from there. We'll take a walk there later to show you the harbour a bit more. But look at that, the iconic Harbour Bridge right there. And you can see all the traffic that flows in and out of that bridge every day. Over here, don't know if you can see that, but you can actually see also the Opera House. But look at this view here. You've got the little fort over there, and there's actually a naval base just over there. You probably see the air carrier there. Look at this interesting building in front of us. It looks really kind of historical as well. But wow, this is quite amazing. Just love taking in this view. Very breathtaking. And you can actually see in the distance as well, Luna Park. That part of Sydney is called North Sydney, for those who don't know, and you can take a ferry there or go over the bridge to get to it. But what are your thoughts of this? The weather is horrible, but the view is beautiful. So as you enter the room, the room has a little bit of a dark sort of atmosphere in here. I think it's done deliberately. You see all these sort of dark colors throughout the room. It is quite a gloomy day today, so I would assume that it would be a bit brighter in here. But over here, you've got yourself a safe, some drawers with some items here for your shoes. You've got your shoe horn, something to clean, I guess, the shoes with, hairdryer, and a couple of slippers. So as you can see here, the slippers are branded. So if you like collecting these, you can have yourself a couple of InterContinental slippers. Get yourself your ironing board and your iron. Some robes. You've got your fancy coat hangers here with the robes, and some additional coat hangers here. Like where they've put the minibar, you've got this nice sort of frosted glass with these patterns in there. And look at this. All your glasses up there. Some chips and nuts. Wine. Some little desserts. Popcorn. What's this one? Coconut ice. And assorted fudge. That looks delicious. And some little bits of alcohol here, all of which are not complimentary. But that looks pretty good there. Next to the full body mirror, you've got this huge TV. And this is probably the best part of the room. I like this chair here, this leather with the leather finishing. I like the light in the corner. However, with a room like this, with the view that you've got this bench here, or day bed, whatever you want to call it, to sit down on, and you can take in the views here. And this is the standout of the room, in my opinion. I like this sort of velvet finish here. Again, nice lighting. I like that. The lighting in this room is not overwhelming. It's more dim, but it sets a nice atmosphere in here. Nice king size bed. What are your thoughts on this? Looks quite nice. Sets a nice tone. And over here, you've got your phone, and we get a couple of complimentary bottles of water. As usual, I love to check the hygiene when it comes to the beds here. But you can see the bed head is nice and clean. Let's have a look under the mattress and see what we've got. See, that's nice and clean under here. I really hate it when there's a lot of dust or things like that hanging around. Mattress looks quite clean. However, there's no mattress encasement here. But still, look at this mattress, nice and clean. They do have a mattress protector, but not encased. I like these buttons here. Very modern style buttons. But these little buttons here controls the curtains, which is a nice touch. And opens as well. Wake up in the morning, open the curtains, and get a nice view of the harbour bridge. What else can you ask for? So my thoughts on the room here, I like the mood. It's nice and a bit dimmer. It's not too bright. And I think it really suits the room. And there's light coming in from outside anyway, from the view that we've got. A couple of critiques I would have is maybe there's a little bit of scratch marks and scuff marks around the place. And this section here, I'll just show you. Next to the light, it looks like it doesn't get cleaned, and there's quite a bit of dust that builds up here. But that's about it. They could do a better job cleaning the table here. And someone's gone to town on this bench here and it's scratched the hell out of it. I'm not sure how they managed that, but there it is. But apart from that, you can't really complain. I really like this room. And you're not going to sit here and worry about scratches in a room like this. You're going to appreciate the view out here, like I said previously. I can sit here all day and just relax, read a book, or watch my favorite YouTube channel. What I'll say about the bathroom is that it's quite small, but the finishing in the bathroom is of high quality. Got some high quality lotions here. These are really good. Natalia loves this brand. Some water energy saving scheme here. Good quality throughout the bathroom. 3 towels, which is great, but 1 dental kit. If we look through here, just some sanity bags, sewing kit, vanity kit, shower cap. I like this sort of Art Deco kind of light that's on the wall there. But look at this size of the actual shower. It's huge. I kid you not, this shower is massive. If you look over here, the handle's over here, but shower is over here. You've got a rain style shower head here, your standard handheld shower, And like I said before, really high quality lotions. But how many people can we fit in this place? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and maybe a couple in the middle. 10 people maybe in here. Don't know what you'll do with 10 people in a shower. I might get in trouble, but hey, you can fit them in here.
So we've got an amazing view to the Sydney Harbour and to the Harbour Bridge, which is the largest steel arch bridge on our planet, actually. And if you want, you can actually climb it to the very top, where there are these two flags, Australian flag with the flag of of indigenous people, and it's quite expensive to climb this bridge. It's about $400, and it requires a lot of courage. You need to be very brave. It's very scary. I don't know if I won't be able to do it. What about you?
I'll do it without a problem. But I think you'll be able to do it. Don't forget that
No way.
you climb the mountain in Mauritius and things like that. So
That's true.
I think you've got it in you to be able to do it. But also the actually when you're climbing the bridge, it's very safe. They put harnesses around you, so there's no way of you getting injured or falling off the bridge or anything wild like that.
It's true, it's true, it's safe, but being there exposed to the wind at this height, no, thank you. So, anyway, then there is a bit of the view to this beautiful, amazing Sydney Opera House and to another part of the harbour, which is also amazing. Little old fort there, part of the park there, and I would say you can spend the whole day sitting here and looking at the window, because in Sydney Harbour there is always something happening, like these ferries passing by all the time, birds flying, little, I don't know, helicopters, little tiny airplanes, amazing. Even in such rainy, miserable day, it's still lovely. So we are lucky to have such an amazing view.
So welcome to the pool. And I would say this pool here is not the largest pool in the world, but it has its little qualities. One, it's indoor, so on a day like this where it's really bad weather outside, you got the luxury of being able to be in a warm internal pool that's not affected by the weather. I love the ceiling here with this little sort of starry night feel to it, and the patterns on the back wall. Over here, a couple of day beds, towels over here. I like the plants that they've got all the way across here. However, the best feature is, again, the view that we've got of the city from the pool area with our iconic harbour, the harbour bridge and the opera house. That's a beautiful view there. Look at that. This is what makes this pool very special. What are your thoughts of this area? I think it's nice and intimate. So the good thing about the InterContinental is that it's the ideal hotel if you're looking to stay around Circular Quay, and if you want a little bit of luxury sprinkled into your stay in Sydney. This is definitely the place to go. I'll show you how close we are to Circular Quay, which is one of the, I guess, iconic locations in Sydney. Just down this road here, you can actually see in the distance the water, and that's where Circular Quay is. So I'm just going to take a walk there, and you can actually see how close we are, and it makes it really ideal. In Circular Quay, you've got access to the ferries that can take you to Manly and take you to places like Luna Park, also across to Manly, which is another nice location to go to if you're here in Sydney. But over past the Harbour Bridge as well, you've got a place called The Rocks, which is like a more historical part of Sydney, I would say. If you're interested in sort of the colonial history of Sydney, I would say that's a really good place to go to. But here we are, we've only been walking for a short distance, and we're here already at Circular Quay. A lot of, I guess, traffic coming down this way, but you know, it is one of the main locations in Sydney here. Over to my right here is the Justice and Police Museum, and I'll just show you that, which is really, really close to where we are. I don't know what happened to that mummified villain there, but who knows what's going on. So here we go. The Justice and Police Museum is just here. So continuing on our walk from the museum, we're now actually in Circular Quay proper, I would say. And I'll just show you. So over there is the wharf. Let's go have a look at the wharf and just have a better look of how we kind of travel the harbour around here. You can see there ferries docked over at wharf number 2. And there we go. We're here already at Circular Quay. And that goes all the way through in the distance there where you can see. And the most important part is this walk over here. If you walk over this way, this will lead you to a beautiful view of the Harbour Bridge and also the Opera House. So let's have a look and see. So one point to note, here we are here at Circular Quay, but have a look at the view here. You've got the Harbour Bridge, and you'll notice to the right, these apartment blocks here. And they are an eyesore, not very good looking apartment blocks at all, but this is called the Iceberg, and one of the most expensive properties in Sydney. And for obvious reasons, because when you get to wake up and have the view of one of the most iconic landmarks in the world, you're expected to pay premium for that privilege, I would call it. Underneath the ice block apartments, you can actually see there's a lot of shops and restaurants that leads this sort of promenade, I would call it. And they've got
a few docks here as well where some boats come sometimes if you want to go whale watching, which you'll most of the time dock over here and then go out into the water and actually look at some of the whales and dolphins. But over here, as you can see here, restaurants litter this promenade going all the way through. So here's another view of Circular Quay. You can see over there where all the ships will dock. But over on the other side, if I pan over, you can see the harbour bridge is there. And just over here, behind this location on the other side of the shore there is where the rocks is. If you're interested in a little bit of colonial history, interested in little museums and nice little walkways, historical walkways, I would definitely recommend going out that way and having a look for yourself. I was hoping to go there, but it's been really, really poor weather. And I'm really taking the opportunity today to actually show you the harbour instead. But the Rocks is a nice place to go to if you're visiting Sydney. Just continuing our walk here down the same promenade. You've got the Circular Quay behind me over there. InterContinental, where we stayed, is about 5 minutes walk. And this is really very scenic, must do if you're coming to Sydney. There's a little French restaurant here, which I'll recommend if you want to stay. They're well priced for a French restaurant and definitely worth having a look. Here we go. A little French restaurant with authentic French food. And if you have a look, imagine having French cuisine and then being spoilt with the view behind there. Let's have a look at that. So we've stayed here. We've actually had dinner here. It's really lovely. And look at that. Imagine having dinner here. Just looking at this view. Very stunning. And if you look over, we now open up to one of the most magnificent sites in the world, easily. The Sydney Opera House. Magnificent building, really stunning. There's nothing like it in the world. Very unique. Let's have a look at that. Savor the view. And there we go. In all its glory, Sydney Harbour.
Yeah, so now we are at this beautiful Sydney Opera House, which was built in 1973, opened by Queen Elizabeth II. And it's a very big concert hall. They've got several concert halls. By the way, Arnold Schwarzenegger, you know him?
Yeah.
He won his Mr. Olympia bodybuilder or something like that's his title in one of these halls in 1980 or something like that. So also there are like more than 1 million tiles on the roof. You can see it's very beautiful, and the design symbolize sails, like because obviously who discovered this city? Sailors, right? So that's why it's very important to the culture of Australia and Sydney.
And all these locations are so close to the hotel. Really, it's ideal if you want to check out the harbour, the InterContinental, because it's so close. And, you know, on a rainy day like this, you know, you can also stay in the hotel. They got the indoor pool there, but you always want to go out and have a look at the harbour. And here you go. There's the Opera House. You can see a lot of people there running, walking.
And also, if it's a rainy day like this one, you can actually order tour of Opera House. So you wanna go inside and know some stories about this beautiful place. Watch out all these uh, concert halls.
And over through here is the entrance. If you were to go and see a show or something like that, even a tour, you would actually line up in here. Just have a look at this here. This is the queue to get into most of the features and functionalities inside the Opera House. So as we enter the Opera House, through this entrance here, you can see there's some information on both sides of the wall here relating to the Opera House. For example, one of the main ones is the fact that the Opera House was opened by Queen Elizabeth II in 1973. You can see some of the architecture here as we go. Look at the roof here. It really matches what it looks like outside as well. So today is very overcast day. It's a very perfect day to actually to stay here at the Intercontinental. After the check-in process, you know, the staff here were very nice, very kind, and we've just come in here now, just chill, have a bit of lunch. And this restaurant here is actually called the Treasury, because this hotel was actually the old Treasury, and they've actually redone this whole place in this old Treasury, and it's a very historical building, and you can actually see that all the way through here, some of the architecture, and they've actually got a lift here that's quite old. It's the oldest working lift in the Southern Hemisphere.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're here gonna have some lunch and yeah, really enjoying the hotel, a really classy place. So now we're going to try the lifts, which is the oldest working lifts in the Southern Hemisphere. As you can see, it starts from here. Look at that. Looks quite antiquated and old, but let's give this a try. Wow. You have to press this?
It's a bit tough to open it.
Okay, wow, look at that. It's really
Wow.
antiquated in here.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's quite easy to open and close.
Very tough.
Okay, let's go to the second floor. Oh, here we go. Off we go.
So last month they organized the smallest. They said the smallest
bar
Like, I don't know.
in these lifts,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that really feels... Okay, let's see if you can open it. Pull hard. This is really cool. And then, there you go. Let's see where this takes us. Look at the architecture here. Like we said before, this is the old... What was it?
Treasury.
The old treasury. And then down there, where we just have lunch, which is the treasury bar. So our final thoughts on our stay in Sydney. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of rain and flooding across New South Wales, and Sydney also has been hit by a lot of rain. It's been terrible. There's flooding around Sydney, and in the mid-north coast, there's been actual deluge there, and houses are now underwater, and so, things like that. So it's been very difficult to try to provide some of the locations we wanted to show you. We want to show you the botanical gardens and a few things like that, but we might show you that in a different video. But yeah, we really pray for those people who are actually going through the flooding over in the mid-north coast. In saying that, you know, this hotel here has a lot of history associated to it, a lot of luxury, and the pool is an indoor pool, so it's actually ideal, really. If you're on holiday in Sydney and you have really bad weather, you'll actually really enjoy the hotel here. It's not a resort star hotel, I would say. I'd say it's a city type hotel, so there's no space here for this resort big sort of open plan pools and so on. But the pool is indoor. It has a
Nicely
magnificent, yeah, it's heated,
Nicely
yeah.
heated.
And it's also got a magnificent view of the harbour. If that's what you like as well, you can just sit there and enjoy the view there.
Yeah.
If that's one of the things that you like.
Women can enjoy sauna as well, but it's
Yeah,
only for women.
I've noticed. Yeah, so the women have a sauna, but
Women hour.
but the men here, you know, we're content with just swimming in the pool, which is okay with me, to be
They're
honest.
content when their wives are content, right?
That's how it goes. So the hotel has 3 restaurants. One is associated to the hotel itself, and a couple is detached on the outside. But you can pick and choose whichever one you want to go to. We went to the Treasury
Yes.
restaurant yesterday, and the staff there was really nice. They actually hung out with us and spoke to us for quite a while, giving us suggestions on nice different restaurants in the area. So if you come to a hotel like this, it is very sort of, I would say, upper class
Yes,
kind of hotel experience.
Of
Yes,
course, of course.
but you know, you have it is grounded because of the staff here. They're really, really nice. So you don't feel out of place if that's not really your style. The staff really makes you feel welcomed. So we enjoyed our lunch yesterday, and we enjoyed, you know, having a nice chat with the staff members. So in conclusion, if you want a bit of luxury coupled with, you know, nice staff, if you like to visit scenic locations, if you like to visit historical locations, this hotel is definitely the ideal place to stay. And I really feel that you will enjoy your stay here and enjoy different parts of what Sydney has to offer, from luxury to history to the sights to beautiful gardens. This is the place to be.
Yes, definitely.